Good afternoon. Welcome back to Crochet with Lulu and friends. They're napping. They're all asleep. How is everyone doing? And it is snowing here. We went from literally like 60, 70 degree weather yesterday to storms early morning for, it seemed like forever. And then now it's probably 30-ish something degrees. I've not looked at my temperature thing, but oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I mean, well, I can because, you know, we do this. We have our fake sightings of spring, I call it. And then it's like, now you see me, now you don't, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then we have summer. We have smidgets of springtime. I wanted to say hello, and I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone is safe. I had friends that were traveling this weekend, and I was just praying. And they got home yesterday evening, and then, of course, it turned off really windy, and then throughout the night and the morning, like I said, we had storms, and then now the snow. This snow, a few minutes ago when I looked out the window, it was just blowing, and cars were going by and they were just white. It's just unbelievable. And I'm looking out that window and I can see the snow on the trees, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, but oh my word. I had just had my son to turn off the heat in my apartment because I thought there's no sense in paying for heat if I'm not in there. And then now today I'm thinking I'm gonna have to turn it back on for a few days. I think maybe by the weekend it's supposed to warm back up, but who knows, who knows. And my hair, please forgive my appearance. I look terrible. I have not done anything, literally. I made coffee, I've taken them out and in and fed them, and here I sit. Took pictures. I've took pictures of the snow. I remember being a little girl. My father was a minister at a church, and my mother said that morning the ladies went out and hid the Easter eggs. It was Easter, and after church it had come a snow and covered up all the eggs. So I'm not sure, I don't remember the rest of the story. I'm sure us children probably went out and dug through the snow. Who knows? We were wild back then. We were all wild. But I hope you all have had a wonderful weekend. It's been a nice weekend. It was cloudy for the most part. The sun would peep through, but then it was cloudy and very windy yesterday. I did drive yesterday. Oh my word. I have not driven in a while. And so I drove my son's truck, and I had Bigsby with me, and he was nervous and I was nervous. He was probably saying his puppy prayers like, please let Nanny get me home safe. But we had a good trip. We got back home safe, and here's where I'm sitting. I wanted to show you my latest make. You know I love me a Rhonda Butler pattern. Every time I get a notification that she's put a new tutorial on, I have to go look at it. You know, if we need a Rhonda Dawn Butler Day just to do all of her makes. She has absolutely wonderful tutorials, and if you have not checked her out, please go check her out. She's awesome. She does the cutest little amiguramis, and here is, I don't even know what to name him. I was going to name him Osborne because I love Ozzy Osbourne. And he's a little wonky, but you know my patterns are usually a little wonky. But here he is. Is he not the cutest little thing? I even made his little antennas. She goes step by step how to do everything which if I followed instructions right, he would be beautiful. My first mistake, I wanted to make all the little bits and bobs first, so I did everything but the antennas. And I didn't follow her instructions to the T as to how I used a bigger hook for the first part. And you can kind of see some of the white stuffing showing through. Then the wings, I didn't sew them on correctly. So he looks like he's got big ears sticking out, and that's okay. And then this wing's kind of tilted. And right here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I wasn't paying attention how to carry my thread. But he sits down, and he is just so cutesy. I just love him. I just love him. And his little antennas looked like he was doing the wave thing yesterday to one side. But Rhonda does excellent tutorials, and if you follow her, if you can follow instructions, I've never been one to follow instructions properly. She makes it so easy, even the mouth. Now, I didn't do the embellishments around the eyes and the cheeks. I didn't do all that because, well, you know how I do. So, and if you notice his eyes are not in the proper place, he looks like his head's turned. So we're just going to leave it at that. His head's turned. He's looking the opposite way. That's what we're going to say. But I had so much fun making him. Once I got back, because I have not done a whole lot of amigurumis lately. I made the little seals and a couple of snowmen. And that's really all the amigurumi I think that I've really done in a while. But she makes it very easy, and if you follow her instructions, yours will not look hunkered like mine does. I'm not sure what you'd say, but his little wings, I need to reinforce his wings, but he's cute. So that's really been all I've done this weekend. I want, like I said, I wanted to get all, I call it the bits and bobs, out of the way. So I done the 2 arms, the 2 legs, and the 2 wings. And of course, there were some disruptions. There may or may not be a couple of rows left out. I didn't count because I was trying to keep it and I was sidetracked, and we can't imagine why. But you know, you do that. Well, I do that. We know I do that. So I try to keep up, and I'll screenshot where I am watching to on the video. And then sometimes I'm bad to not write the row number down. So there was my mistake in not keeping up with the row, because sometimes your counter can be right, but you're repeating a row or you're leaving off a row. And so I think I may or may not have left maybe at least 1 or maybe 2 rows. So anyways, he's done, he's finished. I do need to secure his wings a little bit better, but I'm pleased with him. He's just so cute. And I was so happy that she posted, and then now she's got one, a carrot. So I've got to go and watch that one and try to do that. That would be so cute to put in little Easter baskets with their gifts, and the little bees would make such cute Easter gifts. Bees you can give any time of the year, really and truly. And the carrot, you could actually make the carrot, and I have a friend that likes the food, the crocheted food. So I think what I'm going to do for her is make her a carrot, a cupcake, maybe a donut, and some little things, and put it in a little, if I can make a little bag, and put it in a little bag. I think it was Jada and Stitches that does a little bag, and then Sarah Satch does a cute bag. So I think I'm going to try to do that and make some little bags and then stuff the little items in that. But the bee would be really cute any time of the year. So what are you all working on, and how is the weather in your area? Did you have any storms throughout the night and the morning? Oh my word, I was watching, which I should not do. I started out watching Ryan Hall Y'all on YouTube, and then I went from that to watching the Fox weather on TV, and oh my word, it was just everywhere. There were tornadoes, there were storms, and then we got it was a loud storm early morning. The wind was so scary. It really, because I thought the wind can do so much damage. Before the storm hit, it had already blown one of my neighbor's tree limbs off, and it was kind of out in the road. So when I take them out later, I need to try to get out there and move it back because it's right at our driveway, and sometimes when you pull in and you back out, I don't want it to bust a tire or something. But I'm gonna quit babbling and rambling as I do. I could find things to talk about for a long time, but we don't need that. We need a quick video, snap, and it's done. But I did want to show the Bumble Bee. I just think he's so cute. And go watch Rhonda Dawn Butler. And if you have not seen Kelly at Crochet Ma for Life, go watch Kelly. I love Kelly. She is she's the sweetest thing, and she's so funny. Some of the things, she's a true Southern girl. And I just love watching her. And she makes some of the most cutest little amiguramis, and she's working on some blankets. She's just, and she was so funny in her video. I think it was maybe a Saturday video, Friday or Saturday video. And she said, I went shopping, y'all. Well, she had went shopping in her yarn room. And I thought that was so funny, because I thought, you know, we could all go shopping. And I did that the other day in the basement in some yarn boxes that I had down there. And I thought, I really don't need to buy blanket yarn for a baby blanket, because I have enough pretty soft yarn that I shouldn't have to buy any yarn for a while. Go watch Crochet Ma for Life. Go watch Rhonda Dawn Butler, and watch KK Crochet. Listen, if you crochet beanies, scarves, mittens, go help K&K Crochet out with their Bumble Bee Mountain outreach. I'm going to link all three of them in the description box, and I'm going to get off from here. I've done rambled for almost 14 minutes. I love you all dearly. Thank you for watching and putting up with me. Bye-bye.